Today, I'm back on the hunt for the best small company in disc golf. This series I started a couple months ago with Birdie Disc Golf Supply, and I have a pretty specific criteria for companies who would qualify to be a part of this series, and I actually just realized that this company kind of breaks it, which is a little less than ideal. I'm gonna throw hole one because there's some people behind me, and then we'll talk about it, but we're gonna start out with the Hooligan Discs Yeet. This is the new Yeet. This is all the new Gateway stuff. 12.5, -1-3, 630 foot, par 4. Double Mando. Let's go. Shout out to Garrett, who is the owner of Hooligan Discs. It's a company that used to be manufactured by Lone Star Disc, and they would lease molds from them or maybe create some in conjunction. I think they had some that they made their own because they took them from Lone Star and brought them to Gateway, and then maybe had to get some other molds retooled or maybe completely remade for Gateway's processes. And so everything in this bag is from Hooligan. They sent it all out, and it's all manufactured by Gateway. That was the Yeet, which was kind of their last one to come out. And we'll talk about every mold after I throw this up shot. I'll try to throw this second disc, the thread, because you can see the basket. I need to swing it right from a standstill. Get there. Oh, that's so short, isn't it? Yeah, pretty short. It's always cool to hit that double Mando, but never a good result. For this small disc golf company series, I've set up a criteria in the first video, which is they have to have between 4 and 13 molds, because 13 molds is about what I would bag typically. And 4 was the minimum because they needed to have a putter, mid-range, fairway driver, and distance driver. And Hooligan Discs did have that, but now that they're all being molded by Gateway, the rope, which was a straight 5-speed, and the flip, which was a flippy 5-speed, they're not in production yet. So I think I'm kind of cheating this video. And on top of that, unfortunately, we're playing Owl's Den Longs. If you guys watched that first video with Birdie, we played the OG 18, which has the front 9, which I love for these style of videos, but they took that out because someone stole 2 baskets. So we're gonna play the Longs, which is about 2.5 strokes harder. And we're gonna act like this isn't a fraud run of this series, even though I'm breaking my own rules on the second episode. But we're gonna be putting with the Dime today, which is a slightly beaded putter. It feels pretty good. This is a little bit slicker, so I'll probably end up putting with this blue one. It's a little soft for my taste, but much better feeling than the black one. That being said, I'll probably end up making something with the black one and miss it with this. Interesting putt to get started here. Oh my, what a, I gotta show you this line. What a putt. I'm not gonna putt that one because, you know, Simon likes to say twice or it's luck, and I like to say I know it's luck, so I'm just not even I'm gonna keep the confidence high. But this is what I was looking at. So really stoked on that birdie somehow. 3 of the different Hooligan molds, because that's another part of this challenge. And now that we're out hole 1 and I can take a second, since they're just throwing their drives, I can explain a little bit better this challenge and these discs. I honestly want to maybe interview or like work for a day or a week in some of these smaller companies and just kind of see how they do it, because I think it'd be really interesting to like try to be one of these smaller manufacturers and see what it takes to either lease molds from Gateway or from MVP. But I also love reviewing small companies' discs, which is what we're doing and why all these are pretty much titled the same. Is this the best small company in disc golf? Hooligan Discs has some pretty interesting molds. A lot of people liked the Yeet a lot, which this has to be a different mold because I believe it was the same mold as the Warbird. You would even see WB on the bottom. Now they're all made by Gateway, so 12.5, -1-3. These are significantly less overstable than the original ones, from what I remember, but they also feel very good. And so far, kind of that glidey overstable 12-speed, kind of my warm-up throws, I'll be overlaying over what I'm talking about right now. And this went about 430 on that shot. Moving down in stability and speed is, I think, what will end up being my favorite mold from Hooligan, which is the Vibe. It's an 11-speed. The rim fits in my hand so comfortably. This disc, I didn't even feel like I threw it as hard as the Yeet, and it went 455 and landed back up on a hill. I thought I was looking for it short, and it just wants to go. So I'm really excited to have this today. I have 2 threads, which are the straight 9-speed. That's what I ended up throwing from there. We are at Denver elevation, so everything is gonna be a little less glidey, a little more overstable than if it was at sea level. So you saw this still flip up, and I'm excited for this to be a very, very straight point and shoot 9-speed. It's a little blunt and blocky on the edges. The bevel and the shoulder seem to make a very neutral point where it's not gonna be a crazy fast disc and burn over, but it's also gonna have a mellow fade. So I think this will be a nice flying 9-speed. And then 2 putters. Unfortunately, neither of the mid-ranges that they have had in production are in production right now, but the Hooligan Disc Cash is an overstable putter. It feels like a much more round P2X, PA3. It feels the similar width of the P2X, which is a little bit, it's actually a little smaller, but maybe PA3-ish, maybe in between the two, because it does have that putter mid-range feel. It has a little dome on the one that I have right now. This is their proto, and I know that Trevor Staub really likes this disc. He actually had a signature Tour Series 1 that I think he aced first time with his ever throw with it, which is super cool. And I think that sentence didn't make a lot of sense. But Cash is going to be the overstable putter, and then the dimes are going to be straight to overstable as well. I thought they'd be a little more understable when I first threw them, but those warm-up shots, I thought they would flip a little. They did not. So those are going to be the molds today. And in this series, we do 3 things. We just kind of throw the disc, review the disc over 18 holes, and try to shoot a solid round. With birdie, I shot 6 down, so that is the line to beat. I think that equates to about 4 down on this layout. But 2, we'll do a tier list of all these discs at the end of this video, and we'll actually add it to the birdie disc, so eventually we'll just have a massive tier list of everything. And 3, we'll play it birdie or die style. Birdie or die essentially means that we have to birdie throwing each of these discs off the tee. And then par 4s, normally I say you can take the up shots as well, but we're just gonna be doing based off of tee shots today because I'm getting rid of the hyzer rule for now, because I just wanna throw a normal round with these discs. And the hyzer rule, sometimes it gets in my head a little bit too much. So we'll just throw these like normal, have to birdie with each of them off the tee, otherwise they go in my 50,000 subscriber giveaway. That was a lot of exposition, so thank you for bearing with me. Let's get on to hole 2, and I think we're gonna try to throw the dime up the middle, drop a dime on the basket. 259, oh gosh. Anytime there's a disc I can make a pun with, it's a bad day since I became a dad. Bad day for you, great day for me. Whoa! A little shanky, eh? That's better. Okay. Wow, those are very, just like throw them on anhyzer and they glide straight. Okay, this should be fun. Put some comments down below. I will do my best to adhere to my own rules, which should be the next company that I do this challenge with. Come on. Oh. And as always, if any of these discs interest you or you want to pick them up, I'll have them linked down at infinitediscs.com for your picking up pleasure. Hole 3, 720 feet, OB right on the path. We've already birdied with the yeet off the tee. I'm going to try the vibe. I haven't really been taking this turnover line a lot up top because I've been throwing low, and the hyzer has just been a little easier. So just got to commit to it. Don't really release it like that last time. Throw a really nice turnover shot. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a little left. Oh, that might be behind a tree somewhere, but I really like how that really, it seems to be more true to an 11 speed, which is what it is and what it purports to be. There's that dome, and then the slightly slower speed means it's not gonna turn as drastically or fade as drastically. It's a very mellow flying, slightly understable 11 speed. So you can see the basket down there. I'm actually pretty happy with like the distance on this shot. I just needed 15 more feet of right. I think I will have a look through. Never mind. Oh. Say hi. I like that putter. Similar like depth to the P2Xs, which I've been liking a lot, which I also really liked on the Judge. This honestly kind of reminds me of a Judge in terms of the putting feel, because it's round and like medium depth, not super deep. 480 feet, par 3, gotta be the vibe. This looks so much more barren than like 2 weeks ago when I played it last. What? Wow. Okay. No flip. Maybe I totally misread the wind. It's a little left to right, so if you get the hyzer on it, it'll be harder to flip it up. Interesting, they took out a tree. I wonder what other kind of course maintenance they might have done. I'm throwing like I got off a plane today. I gotta stop that. The putter is doing good things though, so. Oh, that's like a phantom branch. Oh my gosh, the putter is liking things today. Well, I almost didn't like it though. 355, pretty straight ahead. We almost have the course to ourselves tonight. That's pretty nice. We're gonna throw a thread, and we'll throw this green one. Why not? We'll see if there's any difference between the green and the red on this hole. But a little left to right wind, same wind that's coming from the last hole. So don't put too much hyzer on it. My tendency when I get lazy is just to hyzer it up. Gotta make sure to really stay strong in my core. Perfect. Just gotta get there though, maybe? Is it good? Right behind the tree, but 15 feet away, so I'm pretty happy with that. Try the red one. This one feels a little more understable, maybe. Just putting it in my hand, the parting line feels a little lower, just that wing. And it is. Look at that. Wow. And that one's like just parked. Those are some pretty good 9 speeds. I will say, I'm not personally the biggest fan of Gateway's plastic. I haven't felt a lot, but at least a lot of the plastic that I felt from the companies that they lease molds to, it's not blown me away. And these plastics feel pretty similar, but I've seen from the Hooligan Instagram account some pretty cool runs of things that have come out that are not the same, because it's not bad. It's just not really my favorite. It seems to maybe get a little oily and slick. Personally for me, the plastic that the Yeet is in, I feel like is great. And even the Cash feels a little bit better. Pretty stoked with this comparison. Red, green, saw how they flew differently? Feel like I threw them pretty similar, so. How do I make this putt though? Like that. Yeah. It's kind of funny, this is the best transition from sea level to back to Denver elevation that I've had, because here in Denver right now it's 55 degrees. It's about to be 40 degrees when the sun goes down. But in Cleveland it was sub-freezing every time I went out and played. So I almost feel like discs are flipping easier for me here just because it's so much warmer and my body is actually able to throw them correctly even though we're at a different elevation. I think we're gonna throw the dime again on this one on a turnover. Probably the black one. It feels good to throw. I also did shank it earlier, but we're gonna get redemption. Oh, I still threw it a little, oh no! Bad tree branch. Still threw it a little wide. Okay, that was bad. I think to get even close to a similar flight with the Cash, it's gonna be maybe about 10 more degrees of anhyzer. Oh wow, even then. That thing is pretty overstable. That's nice. There's definitely a spot for a disc like that in the putter department in a lot of people's bags. Just outside the circle here. This is the perfect distance to step. Also, I know I'm back in Colorado because I can smell the weed from a mile away. Let's go. We're getting a nice, beautiful sunset coming through. So far, we still have the birdie with the Vibe and the Cash, and that's it. We really haven't even thrown the Cash. There are definitely a couple holes in the back that will be better for it. 3 down through 6. We're gonna throw this red thread. Actually, I think I want to make sure it fades a little bit better, so we'll throw the green one. Good skip. Red one would have been perfect. Oh no. Double no. Got 2 pretty good chances at getting a birdie or better with the Vibe on these next 2 holes. First one is a 510-foot par 5. I don't make the rules. Love to eagle it. And then the next hole is a 560-ish foot par 5 up a hill, slightly up a hill. I've eagled both of them before. Never albatross this one though. So maybe today's the day. The other option is to try really hard and miss the Mando. Wow. I hope I got the shank out there so I don't have it on the next hole. Somehow there's still a potential up and down. And my disc kicked close enough that I can just run and grab and throw it again. Straight skip. No, it's a log. Really liked it. Never say die. Birdie is still possible. Just gotta throw it in. Try a little forehand turnover with the cash. Whoa. Jeez, I do not trust how overstable that thing is. I thought I threw it right through the gap. Not even close. Par save, baby. Let's go. At this point, throwing the vibe is just about throwing a solid shot out there and trying for birdie. That's ripped. If it gets out of it and skips, it's perfect. Okay, a little skip is fine. Just trying to get it right side. Cash time. What is happening with this ground play today? Really? No birdie on these 2 holes is crazy. Got another 480 footer right down there. It's thinned out a lot, so a lot more sneaky lines. Am I just losing juice as the night goes on? Because none of these shots have felt as good as those first shots with that disc. 3 down out of the front 9, and still the cash and the vibe to birdie with. If I can't get the vibe in the next couple holes, it's gonna be, I think 14 is my last real good chance at it. Hit something. Yeah, good sit. .360, 5. What? Dig. Awesome. These last couple holes, I've really let the temperature drop, and not noticing that affect how slowly my body's been moving compared to how fluid it was at the beginning of this round. So I'm taking note of that. Gonna have to lock in for these last 7 holes, but should be able to correct it all. Not really a line here. It's a really specific line. That's the really specific line. That's bad news bears right there. Still made a putt though. That's not good. That thing warped pretty hard off of one pretty hard tree hit, but whatever that firm plastic is, beware. Double bogey was a little shot to the heart. I like the putter. It's online every time. I just sailed it 2 times in a row. So Try to get an eagle, 448 up the hill. Haven't eagled it yet? Today's the day. We'll go yeet since I haven't thrown it in a while. Ah, too overstable for me. Hey, kicked out. That's good. I wonder if the vibe on that line would have been money. Don't you dare skip. Okay, got a little check skip, but for a second I thought I was gonna eagle it with that one. And that would be disappointing. Because I think I should have thrown it anyways. Cash or dime? Cash, why not? Nice. Thing's flying funky. Back to 5 under. Hole 18, 420. Right down there. Gorgeous looking shot to end it. We're gonna try for some redemption with the red, before we do the tier list. If I can birdie with this one, get back to 6 under par, all is forgiven for that double bogey. Even though most of that was kind of on the putter. I'm interested to see what Hooligan does from here on out. I hope that they make more discs that feel like the new Yeet plastic, which is their most recent release of theirs that I have. So, flat to turn right down this gap. Dude, why am I shaking that in the trees? This is certainly an interesting lie. A lot of Annie, punch it through. Hey, that's about as good as I think I could do from there. I'm making this a pressure putt because I think this red thread has been cursed right now. I threw one great shot with it when I was testing the 2 out, then I haven't since. So if I make this putt, I keep the thread. If I miss this putt, it goes in the 50K giveaway because I birdied with everything. But it all comes down to you, Cashy boy. Dimey boy. Oops. No. It's in the giveaway. Another bogey. Oh, that was the ugliest feeling putt. I think I thought about that one a little too much. There we go. Okay. Oh. Red thread goes in that giveaway. Onto the tier list.
Alrighty, tier list time. First, we actually have the birdie tier list pulled up already, so we're gonna add in the weapon real fast. This actually just got added to my bag. You can kind of see in the background over there. The Disc Like Prices bag, and I actually now have patches. So if you want a patch, they'll be available on my site. They're $7, which includes the shipping for them. It was a little complicated to set it all up, so if you want a PVC patch, it comes with a separate backing. It's like 2.5 inches by 2 1/8. I figured we should make some of these because they're pretty fun, and apparently I'm having a disc life crisis. So shout out Connor for the name. I'll be sending him however many he wants, and then Corey, who also made this graphic. Big shout out to him. Follow him on Instagram and YouTube. But the birdie weapon, we'll go ahead and throw. Honestly, I think kind of just in like B tier. It's solid. This is like one of the discs that it's kind of hard because I do like it. S tier is like, okay, it's going in my bag. I love this disc. A tier is, this is a really good disc. I think a lot of people could bag it. B tier is solid, like good disc. C tier is, there might be some better options out there. It's kind of like the bottom of its category. And then F tier is like, don't bag this disc. Like, don't even worry about it. I doubt we'll have many F tier discs, and I honestly doubt we'll have a lot of C tier discs. Though there may be a couple. I'm guessing in this series, most discs are just going to kind of fit into B tier. But we'll find those gems that are in that S tier and the high A tier. Overall, I'm actually excited to be putting this in the bag. You guys might have seen me decide that a couple of videos back, so I'll be throwing this in the bag. And we threw it on the tier list. Next, we'll just kind of go from the order that I have them on the screen. The dime. I'm actually going to put the dime in A tier, especially for putting. It's very comfortable. It's like mid-depth. It's not very deep, but it's also not shallow. I feel a lot of control over it, even with my smaller hands. And then throwing it was also pretty nice. If they had a premium plastic, it'd be better, but I'm going to put it kind of at the bottom of A tier. I think it's a really good disc. Honestly, probably my favorite mold out of all of these, because the putting, I just felt really confident with it in my hand, with that little micro bead, and it's a good disc. So put that one in the bottom of A tier. Moving up is the Cash, which I really didn't get that much of an opportunity to throw, but from what it was a very consistent, reliable, overstable putter. So I'm gonna put this one in B tier, in between the Ultra and the Reach up here. This is one that maybe I would actually prefer putting with as well, but it's a little domey in this plastic. These plastics, like I said, I wasn't the biggest fan of. This one is better. It's not quite as like slick as these. I think because it's in a putter plastic. Putters and mids, I kind of like this plastic. Once it gets into the driver category, it becomes a little slicker and harder to hold on to. So another solid one. Next is the thread, which is just a pretty middle of the road B tier disc. Most of these discs are kind of going to be, honestly, all the rest of these are in B tier. The thread, kind of middle of B tier, probably in with the Reach. The Reach is actually the same plastic as well. This one specifically, they had the Color Glow Reach, which I hope Hooligan runs some Color Glow stuff, because that just feels so good. I think I gave it away in a mystery box. The Yeet, I think, is solid, pretty high B tier. Yeah, I like this plastic more, and I think that might be the reason why I like it a little more, but also it's kind of like what you just want your stock destroyer out of the box to be. It's not crazy beefy, it's pretty workable, it goes a decent ways, and I think it'll beat in to be a nice flyer, but the shape of it actually feels really good in your hand. It's got some good concavity on the bottom of this rim here, and a decent dome, but not overly domey. So really solid, high B tier disc. And then the Vibe, I'm honestly going to put right up next to it, and just a tick higher. You know what, honestly, because it got cold, I'm going to put this one in low A tier. It's going to be behind the Dime. I really like the Vibe. I just didn't, you guys saw that in this video. I was not throwing this very well. So as it got colder, I cooled off with it. So that's kind of the last taste in my mouth. But I remember just really enjoying throwing this, especially when I could get a grip around it. So that's the tier list. Everything is still chilling in A and B tier. And I'm pretty happy with how this has panned out. And we'll see it continue moving forward. Subscribe if you'd like. And this thread is getting put in giveaway disc once we hit 50,000 subscribers. So far, all of these will be given away, which is a lot. And this is a lot of fun. So big shout out to Garrett for letting me review these discs. I'm excited to see what more Hooligan will do. And hope you give them a chance if you want. I'll leave what they have on Infinite, link down below. See you soon. Peace.